But I tell people something. I say, be careful for trailer we no get break. Trailer we no get break. He cannot drive forever. One day, tree go stop him, or he go fall inside river, or he go jam wall, or he go jam rock, or in fuel go finish.
True.
The problem is the amount of damage it will do before that tree stops it. A trailer with no brake cannot go on forever. But if you are stupid enough to be in the part of the trailer where not get brake, now you know what you go jam. They go arrest the driver. They go arrest the mechanic. But you where the thing don't match one hand come out. Say they think they will give you the mechanic hand knee. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Logic, legally, before that trailer goes on the road, the mechanic must certify it. The owner must maintain it. The driver must do this, and this. So if you are relying on, you are walking on the road with majesty, believing that between the owner, the driver, and the mechanic, they have done what they are supposed to do. If they now don't do it and the trailer bites you, they will arrest the three of them. But you wait don't buy, no go resurrect.
You will not resurrect though.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So in as much as we want to claim that a woman can wear anything she wants to wear, when you are going outside, I beg, knack bra. Not because you don't have the right to walk anyhow you want. As a Bible scholar, there is no such thing as Christian indecent dressing. Because if you interpret it, you interpret according to Jewish customs. We Africans used to walk around bare-chested. There are still Zulu dances in many parts of Africa where women dance bare-chested, and you can Google this and find them even on YouTube. YouTube will get very strict nudity regulations. But because now their culture, you know, if you tell them somebody not carry their bobby go dance. So there's no such thing as indecent dressing. But you see, the girls where they come out go dance for that Zulu dance, you go, they see all their bobby, all of them pecky, all of them pointing up, all of them succulent, nice, and juicy. You, where like 3 children don't drink, 5 husbands don't drink. You not go dey juicy like that too. That's why I say, if you sure say your bobby no be like that auntie own, just in case somebody, you never see where person they fall. There's one joke on Insta blog, one skit where one guy they try cross, one woman they try cross river. She jump, as she jump, she slide. The first person thing where she grab now another woman cloth. She just see her and come out, expose her bobby. You never see that thing before. If I find them, I go send them to you. The woman won't jump cross stream. As she jumps, she just slide. Normal human reflex. Anything where you see, you grab. She grabbed the woman cloth, come out her bobby, drag her enter the water. You understand what I'm telling you? If that woman wear bra, she would have protected herself, because in this instance, nobody say they want wicked arm. And no matter how, if to say she wear bra, if they drag the bra, before they go fit come out the bra like that, they go do small hard work. Now, I am not saying, now what am I saying here is, she has very nice bobby. You where you check yourself for mirror, your bobby not nice. Why are you putting yourself inside a situation that will not benefit you at the end of the day?
Okay, so that if it's just to add to what you've said, you know, I have 2 little girls in this house. So I see my wife, she enforces 2 underwears for them. Tight. You know, the female tights you wear after you wear female tights, right? And then they have this small extra bra looking thing like this. If they come downstairs, they don't wear. I will hear grandma and I will hear my wife shouting, back. You will just check. Did you wear your tights? No. Back. Go up. Go and put them on. One is 8. One is 6. They no burn them where. Make them come down. Make them know where those 2 things. So what you are explaining makes a whole lot of logical sense. So when I asked her that day, when I saw her yelling at them, he said, the reason why they have to wear is that women's laps touches. So by the time they grow up, if you don't have them wear this, they might ask you, Mom, why is my
tie black?
Then on the other side, she now said, you need to start training them now to understand that they wear this majorly for safety and during their monthly cycle, it also protects spilling or something. So she started explaining. I said, okay, now I can be quiet. So what you're explaining is it makes logical sense. But again, women decided to make some new flexible laws for themselves that they like to be free, air should touch them and all that, which is fine. But when incidents like this one occurs, like I said, me, I saw her no, I did look video where well, I saw her no go touch that girl. That thing,
But Belinda, you see, about
Barrister
so
Uju,
Belinda,
welcome back.
you're talking about.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Barista.
Thank
Before
you,
the live
Captain.
went up, we were talking about the what do you call it? The cabin crew preventing her from going. So
Yes.
as far as I know, as a captain,
Yes,
if we
sir.
have an unruly passenger on board, the cabin crew will tell the captain and we inform the security. So the airplane will not be open until the security gets there. Then they'll open the door and go and pick that person first. So maybe in this case, the security didn't get there in time, so they wanted the passengers to go out. Then they decided to keep her.
Right.
I think that was what happened. But normally the procedure is if you have an unruly passenger or a sick passenger, the door will be remain closed, will be shut until the securities come first. They
And
come
then
in
that will
with
be free.
everybody seated. Yeah, everybody will be seated. Then they go in and pick that person first.
Okay. Okay. So, but now,
Yeah.
given that that was not the case in this scenario, what we can see, like I said, we cannot speak totally because we don't have all the details. But from what we can see from the videos online, she was the only person in the aircraft as a passenger, and then the cabin crew or the air hostess seemed to have been holding her hostage. In that case, her fundamental human rights to
So
freedom
are
of
you trying to
movement.
say that instead of having an air hostess, they had an air hostage?
Nice one, Daddy Freeze.
I too,
Um,
I feel like Barrister, the term she's using, they held her hostage.
thank
Can I
you.
hire you?
Thank you.
Can I hire you for her?
I went to school for that. I already went to Kirikiri prison today, so we're on the matter already.
Oh,
But
You
we're
went to
welcome
Kirikiri
to.
prison.
Yes, I did.
Belinda, Belinda,
Um,
Belinda. Na, na, yeli, yeah, na, na. Oh yeah, tell us. Did you see the girl?
Daddy Freeze, that information is not for public consumption at the
it's
moment.
not for public consumption.
Yes. Um,
You are too
But are you going
sweet.
to tell me one on one?
It is for one-on-one.
yeah. Anyways, so her rights to.
Tell her that all this one that people are doing behind, if she doesn't come on Instagram and have people that will fight for her in public to come and talk the other side of the story, say, well, welcome back, yes, gonna con you.
Okay,
No.
so her fundamental rights to seem to have been violated, her rights to freedom of movement. And that I think that's section 41 of the Nigerian Constitution. But there are exceptions. And in this case, I think that the Aviation Act kind of stipulates, even the Constitution gives exception where a crime has been committed, reasonable restraint can be used or implemented to hold down a culprit till the authorities come. And from the videos that I can see, it's like they were holding her down for the authorities to come. Now, the question is thank you very much, Daddy, because I saw the comment you
No, no, no,
pinned.
no. I want
Now,
to attack the person. You need to be. Who tell you say she want to go America? You think everybody wants to go to America?
it's a
Me, when I sit down for
compliment.
my
Thank
house,
you.
like 3 people call me today, say they want to come out for America. Today. And one of the people is somebody you know, but I'm not going to mention the person name. Today, 3 different people don't tell me say they don't tire for America. Belinda is okay where she's in Nigeria. Thank you, Belinda. Belinda, be talking your talk, Jerry.
Okay, so there are exceptions to, the breach of the fundamental human rights of freedom of movement, and this may be considered as one because it seems like a crime was committed, a purported crime, and they're trying to hold her hostage until the authorities come. Now, we saw videos of the girl
But
hitting
Uju,
the.
I am picking on some of your words too, and they seems
Just
to be
hold on a second.
assumed
Just hold
on
on.
I'm
No, they're
hearing
not
you.
assumptions. They're more like me saying
Presuming.
allegedly. The only
Alleged.
people
Okay.
or the only persons who have the right to call it what it is the
Is the
court
judge.
when judgment has been given.
Okay.
So I will not be here playing the role of the judge. Thank you, Mr. Wilfred. Okay, so
I like the way you're calling me to order because it is your job.
thank you. Exactly.
It's selfish. I want to hear what I want to hear. Don't mind me. Oh yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. Okay, so another thing is we saw the girl hitting the air hostess. And I'm not here to really determine what happened that she hit her or not. That's not the case right
Did
now.
she
When
hit
they get to
her
court,
or did she hit her back?
that it is, that's also not important right now. The courts will determine intent and provocation where necessary. Now, what matters is as long as that hitting, we can establish that she was hitting the air hostess, there's a case of assault already on ground, and she's wrong for that. If she's found guilty, she would face the consequences. However, the concern right now is the violation of her rights to the dignity of human person. From what we can see, that right was completely violated. And I need to say this to a lot of us because many people were saying, oh, if it were in other countries, she wouldn't try that. You know, they wouldn't treat her like that. If it were in other countries, she wouldn't be handled like that either. And even though she hits somebody, it is the duty, the airline owes its passenger. Mr. Wilfred, you were a cabin crew, so I stand to be corrected. You owe your passenger a duty of care. And this case it has been neglected because not only was her constitutional rights violated, the airline also violated or breached the duty of care that they owe their passengers to protect their dignity. Now, even if you were trying to take her out and there was some form of force, and in this case, the force seemed to be excessive, even if that was the case, the recording and publishing of that video online still further violates her privacy and, even worse, the rights to dignity of human person.
Do
There is a
you
lot
do you
of,
know bankruptcy because some company has to go bankrupt to pay for the
what do you mean?
damages? A company has to go bankrupt so that because when they pay damages for this, as I'm listening to you, so a company might go bankrupt. So if that's part of the solution, please.
The courts will decide. The courts will decide. So we need to stop. We need to stop this. Oh, she did this. She got. There are two wrongs here. There's a case of assault, and there's a case of violation of her fundamental human rights. Both
But
are
you,
wrong.
before you leave the word assault, leave me to live in my wonderland and call things the way they are. Comfort is not a mad woman to just wake up and raise her hands on her. I can tell you categorically with confidence, right? When she was being restrained to step out of the aircraft, there was a
Mm,
physical I don't have to see
mm,
it.
mm.
Like I said, from the time of this whole incident, if she was actually violent, really passengers, the plane wouldn't have taken off.
Okay. Now, Mr. Wilfred, let me say something, right? I get you that you are
Mhm.
saying she was probably provoked. Now, it is not for us to just determine here. That's why when I started this
I
conversation, I
agree.
said ab
No,
initio.
that's what I said, that I completely agree with you. That
Yes.
allow me to live in
So there
that
are
line.
two things that will
Mm.
determine a crime or that determine a crime: the
Mhm.
actus reus and the mens rea.
Mens
The
rea.
act in itself and the
Mhm.
intention.
And the
Right now,
intention.
we can all see the act, but
Mhm.
we're not sure of the intent. And
Okay.
intent can only be deduced by the court.
By the
So we're
court.
working with the act and assuming a lot of intent right now.
Yeah. The
So,
intent
yes.
actually I am more so focused on because the time from takeoff to landing, it's over an hour. So there was no conflict or there was no escalation. Everyone seems to have been okay. So for another individual to suddenly raise another whole drama that did not exist anywhere, I would have been so curious to know if the captain was informed about this next line of action that led to what we are seeing now. So again, it's
Okay.
just thinking outside of the box, and being that I've worked inside the aircraft for a considerable amount of time. But I'm not
I honestly, I hear
if you
you. I hear you and I understand your concerns or sentiments. But to be honest, decisions or judgment is not really based on our sentiments here or the tooth for tat thing that we're saying, oh, she hit this person, so she had to be dragged out like that, or this had to happen. Like I was saying, there are two wrongs at the moment, or two wrongs are allegedly before us at the moment: assault on the part of the girl and excessive use of force in taking her out and stripped her away of her dignity,
have our
which
dignity.
has violated her fundamental human rights. And this is under the Constitution, Section 34, like I said, and paragraph A makes it very clear that no human, that by human, it, of course, no Nigerian,
Mm-hmm.
should be tortured
Mm-hmm.
or face any form of degrading or inhuman treatment. So, and
Okay.
this, hold on, Mr. Wilfred. This
Mm,
particular,
mm.
um, um, this particular section of the Constitution, interestingly, has no exceptions. So we're not
Okay.
here discussing if
So
she's reacting or if, yes, there are
I
no
want you to know
exceptions
that
to
I'm
this.
for the girl. Say you know I'm for the girl.
No,
All
yes,
this
I don't know
thing.
who you are for, but it's
No,
also
no, no. I'm for the
inconsequential
girl.
who you are for.
Eh. So
Okay,
now I
that's
have
fine. I appreciate your support.
Let's
no, no.
hear
But
Belinda.
I am for the girl from time. I said my IBOM na me get up. The girl na my own. The crew, all of them, all of us, we are IBOM. So that's why I said it's so difficult to grow in Nigeria as a woman. It's so difficult. So now, here's where I want to ask you one question. You have been so focused on the videos we saw. Those are the ones you can speak to. However, if every passenger who witnessed this event refuse to come up to speak up of what happened from inception, can they be subpoenaed?
they can.
Oh, they can. Okay, good. So that
Mhm.
means there is hope over there. Now,
Of course, there's hope.
can they also count the victim comfort statement to be valid? Because, like I said, hand touched that girl first when they block her from coming out. And by the time she was hitting the cabin crew, and she was like, can you see she's hitting us? Can you see she's hitting me? She said something. She said, did you tell them what you did? What happened? How did her hair come off her hair? So I want to
Okay,
say that
now, yeah.
there was a physical provocation that led to this. So my question is this: would the court also consider a statement or our explanation to be valid? Because the airline was just busy showing us the one they wanted us to see.
Okay, Mr. Wilford, to answer your question, there are certain things, two things, basic principles of natural justice, and the court cannot do without them. And number
Okay.
one is principle of fair hearing. Every party must be heard fairly. It is called in Latin audi alteram partem. So it
Mm,
is a right, it is there. So whether you think that there's a provocation, the girl will be heard and heard clearly, just like the airline will be given an opportunity to speak and speak clearly. So both parties will present their case. Investigation will go on, they will go to court if they need to, and from there, the court can deduce their judgment. Do you understand that? So do not be
yeah.
afraid that the girl will not, her statements, every single thing she has to say will be heard because she's entitled to the principle of fair hearing, and the court cannot overrule it.
I
Right?
believe,
So,
I'm sorry. I'm tackling Barrister Oju. Barrister Oju, if Nigerian
Right.
court system is running effectively and a balanced judiciary system, the way you are explaining it looks very sweet. We should say this is our court system. It go balance things like this. Because if you ask me, comfort deserves justice. But
What?
knowing that it is a corporation that is involved here,
Okay. What has that got to do with anything?
in Nigerian setting,
What happens in Nigerian setting?
what happens? I will give you example.
No, don't give me example. Tell me what happens.
Example now, Yami, our Honorable Natasha, who is with an institution, can't you see how they are oppressing her? Nobody wants to hear our own side of the story. So now, this young girl now, and the whole corporation,
I don't think
also
you're
do the
correct.
same.
You are not very correct when you say nobody wants to hear her
They
own
haven't
side of
tried
the
to
story.
explain it to the court now. They are busy dancing around it. The one that
Anyways,
really
this is a completely different matter.
I understand. I
So,
completely understand it is complete. But what I'm saying is that when a stronger entity with so much influence is having something to do with a young person who does not have that same influence or financial power, they tend to
I
kind of
know,
want
I know, I know what you're talking about, but we
uh-huh.
must state
So
the
the way I
law.
explained, if they were going to go by that,
Pop my
it
money gun if you're watching on TikTok.
it would be sweet. But if I want to follow the way you
Super
explain it,
chat, super stickers, and super likes if you want me to read your message on YouTube. Oh
then you
yeah,
are
oh yeah,
giving.
oh yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear
I'm
you.
ending in 10 minutes.
Okay. So I said, going by how
Daddy,
you
please, I hope I'll be able to say something before you close in 10
okay,
minutes.
let's
Oh yeah, talk.
Okay, I just
Okay.
want to thank you, Belinda, and thank you,
Bye.
the other guests. So I just want to speak to, there are different buckets of issues, and that's what makes this
Exactly.
case very complicated to analyze. We have to address each bucket, and if we want to look at it, there are different angles people look at it from. Do you want to look at it from the legal perspective? If you want to look at it from the legal perspective, you have to put sentiment aside,
Right.
because I find out that when you are trying to address legal issues as it is, as stated in the law, people get very
Very emotional, very
emotional,
sentimental. Right.
sentimental, and the law is blind. That is the position of the law. Now, the
Right.
application of the law and compliance, how it is applied, it's not in our hands, but it's for us to speak what is applicable and what is stated in the law. Now, I
Right.
want to address the issue of switching off the phone. I've been itching to say this thing now. Okay, Daddy Freeze did mention that he doesn't turn off his phone, or he hardly turn off his phone when he goes on international flight. Now, what brought about this policy or this rule, this law? The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, they work with internationally recognized standard. Now, this internationally recognized standard, thank God the pilot even came and spoke. This internationally recognized standard has been provided by like the International Civil Aviation Organization. They
Right. I
provide
can. Mm-hmm.
guidelines. ICAO, perfect.
Yeah.
They provide guidelines that most most aviation institution all over the world, different
World
countries,
follow.
would
Yeah.
would want to comply with those guidelines.
Right.
Now you still have the relative, what would I call it, discretion in respect
Mm-hmm.
to your compliance, but
Right.
most aviation institutions want to comply to the best so that they can be rated as, meeting up with internationally recognized standard. Now, where do we take from these policies and we apply it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, why do they request that we switch off our phones or we put it on flight mode, as the case may be? It has been stated that it would interfere. It could interfere. It could interfere. There is a percentage here.
Probability.
Even
Yeah.
Probability, yes. Even if it is 2% or
Right.
1% probability, the
Right.
airline owes their passengers that security.
Right.
Now, modern aircraft that has
Okay,
updated,
I want to ask you a
refined
question.
today's
The fifth can
features.
let me let yeah.
Daddy Freeze,
Mm,
I'm happy to attend to your question. But if I can just mention this one thing.
okay.
What makes those international airlines peculiar to what is applicable here in Nigeria, aside the fact that that is the law, we are tilting towards what is most secured for us as a nation based on the circumstance of our own country, which is
Right.
to say, we probably do not have those aircraft that has those, we probably do not have the aircraft that has those features. And I'm putting a caveat here as I speak so that I'm not quoted anywhere. Because
Anywhere, right.
if I'm to comply with internationally recognized standard, I will take what is most safest for me when I
Correct.
know the condition of my own country. So now, there are other intricacies to this, but I just want to mention this major one, that we should not just assume, or even though we believe or we know, even though we know that it might not interfere or it has a very low chance
Mm-hmm.
of interference. That is not a rationale for non-compliance.
Absolutely. And
Once
I
it
already said it
once
because
once it has
because
been stated, and when we want to board this aircraft, when we buy our ticket, do we know their T's and
the
C's, their terms
terms
and
and
conditions?
conditions are right there. So
The
and
terms and
they read
conditions
out the
that we've
law from the
agreed to.
yes, they read out the law from the Civil Aviation Act, and it's still very clear. And I tried to make it clear at the beginning of my joining this live that laws
Mm.
are subject to interpretation. If you say if, is the safety is determined by the pilot and his crew, not by the
And
passenger.
they owe their passenger the most secured option, the
My
most
Absolutely.
secured
question
alternative.
is, my
Okay.
question is, how come every international flight I have flown from Lagos, business class, have never as much as asked me to put and I intentionally showed them my phone because I want to hear them say it, and they never say it. So
Okay.
how come in the last 5 years I have flown at least 15 times,
Excellent.
probably 20 times to different
Okay.
countries,
Okay.
and
And
none, not
none.
Okay, so
And I'm
Dubai,
Daddy
happy
Freeze.
to answer
London,
that
not,
question, Daddy
hold on,
Freeze.
not
Okay.
Dubai, Nigeria, or Qatar,
Mm-hmm.
Lagos,
Mm-hmm.
not any single flight. I'm talking about Virgin Atlantic. Virgin Atlantic was booked for me by Simply Vic and Buki Sonyaolu. I upgraded to business class. I flew business class. I was live while we're taking off.
Mm.
I've flown British Airways once from Qatar to London with my
Mm.
wife and child. I've flown Qatar Airways at least 7 or 8 times. Emirates too.
Mm-hmm.
And no one has ever asked me to turn off my phone or even put it on flight mode while we're taking off or landing. Are
Mm.
you sure that it is safety they want to maintain?
Okay, let me respond to that. I
Very
really
Okay.
good.
appreciate your question and the fact that you've alluded to how many flights you've taken. So it shows that it cuts across international standard. Now, what I'm trying to say is this. These airlines you have flown in the past or presently, they have modern features that has a means of reducing or, if possible, eliminating the possible interference of phones with whatever equipment that is being used on board. This, and I'm glad you mentioned international flights.
But they all
When
take off
it,
from the same Lagos and they all use the same
yes,
runway.
yes, but
We
they
have
take
only
off
two
from the
runways
same
in
Lagos,
Lagos.
but they don't use the same aircrafts. The aircraft is the focus now. The aircraft they use are theirs. The aircraft they use are modern aircraft, and they already have these features. They've upgraded, and they believe. Take note. These aircrafts or these airlines you use, they
Fly
have
Girl is a
their
pilot.
base.
Fly Girl
Sorry,
is a pilot. I'm sure she's almost a captain now. Wilfred, sorry, we have two
sorry.
lawyers in the house. No vex, make I bring pilot. Fly Girl, can I bring you up? I beg you in God's name.
Okay,
Fly
sir.
Girl, I know her
Okay,
very well. She's a 737 pilot, if I
I was
remember
I was
correctly.
about to ask you
great.
if she was aviation pilot. I mean,
I
lawyer.
know her. I just
Okay,
hope she can grant me
because
the
I was
audience.
really hitting
Fly
notes
Girl, I
on
need you,
aviation
please.
laws.
Don't be angry. Don't
So
be
that's
angry. I'm putting you on the spot. Wilfred, I'll bring you back. Even though I know
okay.
I said I'm ending, I'll bring you back. Fly Girl, I beg. Nadobale, I did. I need you to put mouth inside this
Okay,
matter.
so
Please.
as we wait for Fly Girl to join, which is a good one, let me just let me just re-emphasize this point that the aircrafts are aircrafts of the airlines that even though they take off from Nigeria, they do have the features there already. They do have the modern technology that would address possible issues that could come up. Now, on the scale we can place ourselves with our own Nigerian aircraft is what requires these rules or policies to still exist up until now. So by the time, possibly
All
when
right.
we
Sorry, I'm
upgrade,
going to
then
have to
the
cut
policies
you.
can
I'm
change.
bringing Fly Girl up. Quincy, how are you doing, ma?
I'm good. Good evening, Daddy Freeze.
Good evening.
I don't
Please
think I
introduce
want to
yourself and
join.
tell them what plane you fly.
I'm a captain. I'm flying. I currently fly the Embraer. Flown the 73777, and I'm on the Embraer. Captain on the Embraer.
God will help me bless you to the point where the blessing will be running from you, will be running from the blessing.
Amen.
Now,
Amen.
737 is one of the most popular airplanes in the world. It is what many of our Nigerian carriers use. I don't. I think IBOM Air has some 737s. I don't know whether they are wet lease or they are their planes. I know Aero has a lot of 737s. Arik has a lot of 737s. Air Peace has a lot of 737s. Mostly 200s, if I'm correct.
300s,
With
500.
300s, yes. Um, Nobody has an 800. In my sim, I fly 800.
Arik does.
800 is the more glass cockpit one.
Arik does.
200, 300 is what they call,
Classic. The
sorry,
classic. Arik does.
classic.
Arik
There's
does.
classic and there's NG. I fly
NG.
NG is new generation. Abi, Quincy.
Yes. Yes.
Now, 777 is the big one that they used to fly international.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want them to understand what you see. When you tell me what you fly, me, I understand it, but I want them to understand 737 is the smaller one that they used to fly mostly short hops.
Mm-hmm.
737, you can fly non-stop from Lagos to London, from London to New York, from Lagos to Dubai. That big
Absolutely.
737 that has that
Triple
six
seven.
tire landing gear,
Mm-hmm.
that is 777. So she flies small aeroplane, big aeroplane. The Embraer, which of the Embraers do you fly?
190.
Okay, so Embraer is more like the private jet size, about the
Yes.
737 size, but slightly smaller. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, she has flown all types of airplane. So I beg you in the name of God, does phone 777 big aeroplane, 737 mid-size aeroplane, the Embraer smallest, almost mid-size aeroplane, does phone affect any of them?
I won't I won't answer that, Daddy Freeze. But what I'm trying to say is regulations. The anchors, what
Right,
the anchor says, is the regulations.
right.
So
I want to still
regardless
put
of
it because me and you we know what we are talking about, but you don't want to be the one to say it.
And what gives birth to these regulations? Is it not who are the policy
if
makers of these
Exactly.
regulations?
right now
There are
the
people that
NCA.
come together, compare the app, look at what is obtainable in the
No,
system
no. We
to
have okay.
determine the
So
policies.
you can each country has their regulations.
That
So
Exactly.
is
we
what I'm
have to
talking
comply.
about.
We still have to
Yes.
comply. We have to comply with the regulations. regardless of, then each company will have their own policies, that is more stringent than what the
Another.
regulations is. We have to comply with the regulations,
Okay, so Captain,
regardless of.
sorry, let me
Wait,
ask
before
a
Yes.
you ask, I want
question.
to ask one only
Daddy
one
Freeze, no, no,
question,
no,
then I
no.
go
Daddy Freeze,
back.
I have to ask you. I have to
Before
ask
you
you
ask,
this
I want to
question.
ask this question.
Daddy,
737.
please
Sorry,
don't put me on the spot.
I'll not put you on the spot. I'll just ask you a question. 777 and 787 is just like 737 300 and 737 800. They are basically the same plane. One is just more tech than the other. Abi?
Um, yeah.
So 777 and
Hmm.
787,
Hmm.
most international flights use these two planes. They're about the same size. How come on the business class, flying from this same Nigeria that has all these 50,000 rules and regulations, how come they don't tell passengers on business class to put their phone on airplane mode, let alone switch off your phone? Why? Is it that the regulations are meant for the poor? Because usually the poor people in the economy are more rowdy. What is the rationale behind? You don't have to answer, but you know me, this thing I'm saying, you know.
It boils back to the regulations, regardless of. I mean, we all fly every day out of the country. We use the Wi-Fi on their
On
on
board.
different
On
airlines
board.
on board. And so it depends on the regulations. If the regulation states that, you see, one things we have, even as pilots, we have regulations guiding us that we need to comply. If we just don't do things, we have to abide by the regulations. And that's why I
Yeah.
say regulations are different from countries to countries.
Okay, so Daddy Freeze, I do have a
Till they
question for
pull,
you.
till they
I
pull
don't
out,
talk anything
till
again. No. I don't want to put
they,
anybody in trouble. I'll just keep quiet and be watching. If I see
No,
anything, beat me.
the question is for you. If you are saying that when the phones are on,
Yeah,
Daddy Freeze, are you here? If you are
yeah.
saying that the phones being on don't affect the aircraft, and if they are off, they don't affect the aircraft as well, why do we have to change it since either ways nothing happens?
Because the air crew are harassing passengers unnecessarily and leading to too much problem.
And I agree. And I agree.
And
But
I want to
also
ask
now,
any pilot that is watching, oh, don't you people put your phone on inside cockpits? I'm not talking to fly girl. No, 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 no. I'm not asking you. I'm just talking to pilots. Are your phones not always on inside cockpit? You know how many pilots I don't follow chat? The pilot tell me say I did cockpit. Once I land, I go call you. And the
Still
plane
not
no
a
fall on top
license for
mountain. Now
non-compliance.
one mumu where they come from China, we carry load, where they near toilet for back. Now you go bring the aeroplane, come down. It is okay. God will judge all of us. Any more questions for me?
That the freeze, like I said, might not require the plane coming down, but it's a security measure. And
absolutely.
they take
Somebody
it
said I
very
don't. Oh.
seriously.
Somebody said I don't. Oh. Make I no
As
talk. Oh.
minimum
Make I no
as the
talk. Oh.
impact might, as minimum as the possibility of the impact might be, if they deem it fit to err on the part of caution because of the protection of the security of those on board, let them err on the part of caution because they know better the quality of what they are working with.
Okay, so the girl where they come out her Bobby
But
now
that's a
show
different
all of
issue.
us.
They
That's
are
it.
If
modeling
they
Daddy
had
things
Freeze,
up.
not
Let's
gone to
not model
harass her
things
over the
up. Let's
phone,
take it one by
we for
one.
not see all this one. No.
Daddy
Like I
Freeze,
said, there are
sorry,
different
sorry,
pockets
sorry,
to
Now,
Sarah,
this.
sorry,
right?
I want to also add
Today,
something. I want to also add something. I think the reason, to be very honest, because this is what helps me deduce why they don't tell people in first class. They do. People in first class use their laptop while they are taking off now.
That is freeze. We can't conclude
Hold
on
on.
that. You can
Hold
conclude
on.
on that
Wait,
for
wait.
international
Let me tell you something.
flights.
Even if, well, if you okay, what about people in private jet? When you're on private jet, do they ever tell you, Belinda, you've flown private jet before? Have they ever told you to put on your phone? You see, let me tell you something. Hold on, let me explain something. I think this offing phone is aimed at poor people because poor people can be rowdy. Maybe because I see it as a social class uh, issue. The law
Hmm.
might not be because let me tell you, as long as they enforce it on local flights, but private jet flying local, they will not enforce it. They enforce it on local flights. But have you forgotten that the aeroplane that we take off in Port Harcourt sometimes flies to Lagos, carries some more passengers before it goes to London, right? There are instances where a British Airways will take off in Port Harcourt, go to Lagos, pick passengers there. The passengers that enter the plane from Port Harcourt are seated. They will not disembark. They will sit on the plane, and Lagos passengers will join them, and then everybody will go. Or the flight comes to Lagos, drops people, then goes to Port Harcourt to drop the last set. So the Port Harcourt to Lagos, Lagos to Port Harcourt leg is a local flight. Why don't they tell the business class and first class people to off their phone? It's important that we discuss this.
Daddy Freeze. I want to believe that there's always a general announcement that is being made on any aircraft. Please,
Okay.
somebody can talk if I'm wrong. There's a general announcement that is being made, and this announcement, what is the origin? What is the root? You will agree with me that the issue of switching off your phone or putting it on flight mode, the air hostess, and this is not to be on anybody's side, she didn't just come about it on her own. It was based on certain rules that have now how she applied it or enforced it is a different talk for another matter. It's a different discussion. How she enforced it is a different discussion. I wasn't there. Nobody has been able to come and give us detail of how the enforcement took place before it's roller coastered into what we saw. That's a different issue. But my issue is we need to put the correct narrative out there so people don't just go out and feel that yes, I've heard that it doesn't affect. It doesn't affect. There are rules on ground. There are people that came up and put these rules together because that is what they feel is most suitable and applicable for the system currently. Now, or at the time they did it. If there is a need for an upgrade or an update until it is done, that remains. And I'm just trying to promote complying with the rules and regulation when you go on board, just to make sure you keep just to ensure you avoid getting into trouble. That is the narrative I'm here to promote, because for us to know that there is a basis for everything, except you are coming to tell me that that rule or that policy of switching off your phone or putting it on silent, it was the air hostess that created it by herself that day. It wasn't existent in any law or any policy. That would be a different discussion. But if
All
it's
right. I want
existing,
to
let
raise
us all
something.
know that
Remember,
this
I never
exists.
said you should disobey the law. I just said how sensible is the law.
Exactly. It's another discussion.
Now, we live in a country where if you are going through a divorce process for 15 years and you get pregnant, it is considered adultery until that marriage is dissolved. Does that make any sense?
Well,
I'm asking you, the two of you are lawyers. Does it make any logical sense?
It makes
yeah,
legal
there are
sense,
lots of
Daddy
Hey,
Freeze.
archaic
hey, hey, I don't
laws.
want to hear legal sense.
It
Does
does
it
make
make
legal sense.
any logical? No, 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 no. Carrying your phone on board makes legal sense. But does it make logical sense? The answer is, in my humble opinion, no. In any
It
pilot
does.
who's watching his opinion, they are laughing and telling you no, but they don't want to say it publicly. So we need, let me tell you,
Daddy Freeze,
America
wait,
went
let's.
to, hold on, America went to uh, Saddam Hussein's country.
We'll soon be going
Did they
now.
go
It's
legally
not home yet. We need
or
to
did they
go
not go
now.
legally? Did it make any sense? We now have to start sitting down
Yes,
and
so what do
realizing
you want
that
to say?
these laws
Okay, I'll just
were
go again.
drawn by people. And we need to interrogate the intelligence behind these laws. I'm not saying disobey the laws, I am saying interrogate the laws. All the wicked, wicked things that have been done in this world, they were all, none of them was done illegally. But we need to
Okay.
start differentiating between legality, morality, and then intellectuality, if there ever was a word like that. I
Okay,
rest
so
my
Daddy Freeze, please
case
let me
on
come in now
this.
so that I can just go.
You are
Okay,
not
so I
going
hear
anywhere
you.
now.
And
Now start up and go fish am.
Daddy Freeze, I hear you. And the truth is, we need to come to a point where we understand that the law is the law. We need to come to a point where we understand that the law is the law and morality is very subjective. What is moral to you may not necessarily be moral to me, based on culture, religion, tradition. So we have to meet at a common ground, and that's where the law comes in. So regardless of your
Have you
tradition,
forgotten
your
that
religion,
slavery was morally right, was legally right?
yes, but laws are not static. They are
No,
very
no, 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 no,
dynamic.
no,
They
no.
evolve.
So,
Daddy,
so
please
if we
hold on
if
one
we if we,
second.
if we press
Just one
you,
second. Daddy, please hold on, please. Laws are dynamic. We hear your concerns. These agitations are important. But as far as it is still a law, it must be complied with. Now, you can make an
word.
appeal. Yeah, exactly. We
So
can
why
make
are
an
we turning
appeal
over the statues of those people who legally had slaves?
because laws have evolved. The law
So
has
the people
evolved.
that no. While the law was in power was when they bought slaves. So why are we turning over their statue now? They didn't do anything wrong. They were
It
legal.
doesn't make it doesn't speak to the current position of the law now. So
No,
it,
but you
it has
see, hold on. You are now moving the
Daddy, please no,
goalpost.
let me finish my point because you've been interjecting, right?
Oh yeah, don't be
So
angry.
I'm not angry. I'm saying that it is important that we keep to the law. There are laws that we do not agree with. There are laws that society has evolved past, and those laws need to catch up with. For instance, this issue of turning off phones that you have been mentioning, obviously, in other countries and around the world, it has evolved. And we need to start pushing that our law in this part regarding aviation should also evolve as well. But as far as that law has not been amended or repealed entirely, it is still a law and must be complied with. So we hear your agitations, and I think it's important that we move past this. If we're going to make an appeal for the law to be amended or repealed, that's fine. But at the moment, as of this evening that we're speaking, it is a law and we cannot underestimate it, no matter what our sentiments are. Right. So that's the point. So we cannot go back to saying things because it is still a law. So until it
So
changes,
why are slave drivers who had slaves under the law demanding compensation now?
I didn't get that.
The people whose families were enslaved under the law, why are they demanding compensation now? Was it
Because
not
then
legal?
it was legal then. They had
Okay, so they
rights
are
then.
demanding compensation now.
Yes, because even though the
Laws
laws have
cannot be
been repealed,
backdated. Laws cannot be backdated.
Daddy Freeze, they are not backdating the
What
laws.
I'm trying to
They are
say is some
giving
laws
them what
make
they're
no
entitled.
sense. Hold on, my darling. What I'm saying is some laws make no sense.
To
If
who?
today they
They don't
are
make any sense to who? The question is to who?
okay, slavery made sense to the people that were owning the slaves, Abby.
No, I'm asking you, if you say laws do not make
Okay.
sense,
So
who do they not make
this one. Here's
sense
what I
to?
want. Here's what I want. I want anyone in aviation to come forward and explain to us logically why we need to turn our phones off, why we need to put them on airplane mode, why people in first class and business class are not disturbed with turning phones on and all these other things meant for the masses at the back.
Daddy
I
Freeze,
need some hold on. I need
okay,
some
okay.
clarity on that. I'm not saying break the law. I am saying the law must be obeyed. However, there comes a point in time when we as now person make this law. Shall we
All
not
right.
fit ask them why they make this law? May they explain the law to us. And when they explain to us and it does not make sense, can we tell them to maybe not remove the law completely, but tone the law down to the point where air hostess will not be beating customer?
Daddy
But
Freeze,
the
the
thing is,
air
I don't think
hostess
it's
hitting.
fully. It's not just the economy passengers that it asks to turn off the phones. If the laws are there, everyone must comply to it. The cabin crews,
Okay.
they are briefed prior to when they start boarding about this, and it's their duty. They're carrying out their duties. They're just carrying out their duties. You can't stop, you can't prevent them from carrying out. I don't think it, not that I don't think, I know it's not just for the economic passengers. We have business
Okay,
class even on the local routes, and it is for everyone to turn off their phones. That is what the law, that's what we have. That's what is guiding us.
that's the
Okay.
position of the law at the
So
moment.
we need to abide by it till
Okay.
they want to change it, till they do something about it, if they feel like or whatever. If you tell me um you should you should allow people to board airplanes with water or with alcohol, that's the law. If you say no alcohol is allowed, that's the law. So right now it's not
Exactly.
about what is logical or not, it's just
Exactly.
about what is the
It's
law,
just
what does
what the law
abide.
is.
Okay. And my question has not disappeared. In my last 20 times of flying outside of the country, business class, they've never for once asked me to turn my phone on
That is
flight
their
mode.
regulation. That each country has their regulation.
Okay,
That
so
is their
British
regulation.
Airways operating in Nigeria operates with British regulations.
That is
I
it.
need it to make sense. I'm very daft. I want this thing to make sense to me. Abi? Because
That it is.
if
Okay, I would want to answer you, not as an
Mhm.
aviation expert, but as a lawyer. And
Okay.
I'm still saying that your concerns and sentiments and logic, they are all very valid. If
Thank you.
you very valid. You're not saying the wrong thing. You're saying the right thing because
Yeah.
you are very vast in aviation, and many other people who have spoken on this live who have requisite knowledge of aviation, including the captain who had left earlier and the current captain speaking, are almost to the effect that it doesn't really have a direct impact on the flight per se. However, Daddy Freeze, as of this evening, it is a law in Nigeria. What this live can do is that well meaning Nigerians or well concerned Nigerians who want this law to be updated, amended, or repealed, like you, can follow the proper procedure and start pushing for it to be amended. But till then, we know that, oh, when you're on business class going to London, going to Italy, they don't tell you to turn it off. They tell you in this place, they don't tell you in this place. The case before us is peculiar, and we're following it. Following it. The instruction was turn off your phone or put it on flight mode. I don't know what the circumstances are, but we're working based on law. And there's something you said. You said
Fly
this
girl,
is
where are you
causing.
running to? What did you read that is making you run?
There's something you said. You
Sorry,
you
sorry,
said
sorry.
that's okay. You said this is the reason why air hostess is hitting up somebody. It's unfortunate that today it was, or yesterday or 2 days ago, it was because of turn off your phone or not. Tomorrow it could be some other reason. We must
Yeah.
address the action of the person involved, the action of the institution, the actions of the individual. It could be anything. Tomorrow it could be somebody doing something else. It's not going to be turning off phone or turning on phone. How do you approach the issues when they come up? So I think that we focusing so much on whether turning off phone, putting it on flight mode is a crime or it's the law or it's not. Right now, it is the law. If you violate it, you violated it. The next question is, if it is something else tomorrow, how do you handle your passengers? That should be, I think, the bone of contention right now. Yeah,
Mm.
because just a few days ago, or sometime last week, it wasn't an issue of turn off phone or turn down phone. It was something else. And these things will keep happening. The question now is, how do we keep handling things rightly and legally?
Besides, it's just a short flight.
Mm.
Nothing will happen
Sorry?
to you if you turn it off for a few minutes. It's a
Exactly,
short flight.
exactly, exactly.
And also, nothing will happen if the captain, or sorry, if the air hostess sees somebody on their phone and just gives them a wink and said, when you finish sending that text, turn that phone off.
Yeah, nothing will happen. Those are the things
Nothing
we
will
should
happen.
address. Right.
Which we now need to train our, you see, I say this all the time, Fly Girl.
Hmm.
Nigerians are robots. Your average mechanic does not know what the carburetor's work is. He just knows that it should be set to this. How many nurses? You'll be amazed that I probably know more about medicine than the average nurse. There are conversations that I've had with nurses and they don't know, because what they are taught is only this: you need to know this, you need to know this, you need to know this, you need to know this. And they are very good on those things they need to know, but they've never bothered to actually do a little bit of research and put themselves in better positions so that they can have a deeper understanding of things. And I find this in almost every sector in Nigeria. I probably know more about flying a plane than the average cabin crew who flies for 10 years. They have access to the cockpit, they have access to the pilots. They just don't bother. They do only what they have to do. Because if you knew anything, you will know that that thing is not a major issue. Only if you now wanted to. I'm not saying that's the law, obey the law. But you see, just the way you see that he freeze in business class on his phone and you choose to ignore, is the same way you can also choose to ignore that girl. Listen, there will always be one or two people that are troublemakers. Sometimes to win people over, when you know that now if somebody comes and lights a cigar on a plane, now that is a problem. Somebody carries a sits on the plane, brings out lighter, does prrr, fire comes out, and they put cigar. That is a real problem. That can jeopardize the health of the people on board secondhand smoke. And that can actually start a fire that can cause the plane to crash. Let me tell you what's a bigger problem. Not wearing your seatbelt is more important than turning off your phone. Because I know somebody who had a spinal cord injury because they flew into wake turbulence. You know all these airports where they go just pass. They know say that A380 will go. It needs some time to climb before the next. They'll just say, yeah, go, because there's traffic. It was during the London. There was some threat in London, and all the planes were grounded. Then all of a sudden, everybody was back on the road. Everybody move. The plane hit wake turbulence and dipped like this. The guy nowhere seatbelt, head just hit ceiling. He had a neck injury, spinal cord injury, almost paralyzed. So you not wearing your seat belt is not only your problem. I have seen videos of where a plane has a very sharp bank angle. Are you listening? And somebody not wearing his seatbelt rolls over and used his head to hit somebody 3 rows back. Quincy, am I lying? That is
The
why they
freeze.
will tell you, even if you are sleeping, wear your seatbelt. You are more likely to be injured by not wearing that seatbelt because you don't know when the plane can enter turbulence. So, wearing your seatbelt, have you ever seen where they fought anybody because of wearing seatbelt? That's actually dangerous. Because person wears seatbelt, you don't for a seat. You know where the plane do like this, you fly, go meet and knock in head. Let me tell you what's dangerous. Using your laptop, not stowing your bag properly on takeoff and landing. That is dangerous. Because when the plane rotates and it is moving forward with velocity, things can roll to the back and go and injure somebody, including that your bag that they told you don't put under your leg. Put it in the cabin and make sure the cabin is locked. Why is it this phone that has the least problem that is most emphasized on, if not for the fact that I think there's something there about enforcing things in Nigeria? Just my take and my final one. God bless you.
All I can say right now that the freeze is there are regulations and we need to comply with them. There are
Period.
laws.
But am I
And
right? Is not wearing your seatbelt more dangerous?
there is nothing. So I can't really tell you which is more dangerous than which. They are all dangerous.
Down phone?
They're all dangerous. I cannot tell you which is more dangerous than which. So abide by the rules, abide by the laws, and everybody, we won't be here. We won't be talking about it.
I
How
want
many
to bring one
minutes
of
is the
your
flight?
colleagues.
Yeah, go ahead.
I hope he's
How
still
many
here.
minutes is the flight?
That's your colleague. You could beside each other. Captain Mo. His network has been so bad. The day I need Captain Mo.
So these are regulations that we just need to abide with. The issue of comfort, not
Captain Mo.
for instance, I don't know why she was the last person, why she was still on board when others have disembarked. I'm not sure
Because
why.
they mean harm.
No, they can't. No, I don't think so. If she had deboarded, she would have gone with the passengers. That's not the story. We're not there. You're not there, so we can't say why she was the last person, why she was the only one on board. So
See,
at the
let me tell
time,
you
the cabin
something.
crew,
My captain
something
here
had
is
happened.
answering you politically. You
No,
can never globally compare owning phone and wearing seatbelts. It's not
no.
possible.
Daddy Freeze is not answering politically. I'm just trying to say that I don't know
Obey
why
the law, we
she was.
agree.
But what I can see from the video, the only at that time AFSEC have been called in. If the security have been called in, there's no way she can leave because they need securities to come pick her up. So we don't know. I wasn't there. It wasn't my flight. I don't know what happened. I don't know what transpired. So I can't really say anything concerning that flight.
I want to call Captain Mo. Captain Mo, I want to call you. Send me hi. I want to call you on WhatsApp. Captain Mo. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I'm calling at least. Hopefully, WhatsApp will work. Oh, why is this phone messing up? So I'm calling him on WhatsApp. Hopefully, this will work. Captain Mo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I want to ask you this question. No vex. I can't seem to bring you online.
I think it's my network. I'm in Dubai.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Owning phone and wearing seatbelt, disobeying which one poses more risk? Captain,
Honestly, seatbelt.
say that again.
Yeah, I say seatbelt.
God bless you.
Seatbelt.
Have there been injuries due to people not wearing seatbelts?
Oh, of course.
Can you mention one injury globally that happened because somebody kept their phone on?
Not that I'm aware of.
Thank you very much, Captain Mo. Any other question? Does anybody have any question? You know the law Captain Mo has is it doesn't fly commercial, so he can still put mouth. Oh yeah. Anybody, Captain Mo, I'll keep you on the phone for a few seconds just in case Belinda has any question.
Okay,
Belinda,
Daddy, please,
you want
I
to go
don't
ahead?
have any questions, but I do want to
Uh-huh.
just summarize and then leave. So there are the legal issues that we can deduce from all of this. The first
Mm,
one is there is a law, aviation laws that require that you turn off your phones in Nigeria,
mm.
local flights, that you turn off your phones or put it on flight
Nigeria
mode.
local flight. Can you say we are branding
That
the law is for
Daddy, please
specific Nigerian flights?
hold on 1 second so that I can finish
Okay.
and then go. So we don't know what the real issue was, whether she put it on flight mode or she didn't turn it off. That's one. The law seems to have been breached or broken that
Mm,
she didn't turn off her phone or didn't put it on flight mode. That's number one. Number two, there seems to be an issue of assault from, first of all, the air hostess. False imprisonment, first of all, from the air hostess who tried to prevents the girl or held her hostage from leaving the aircraft. Then assault on the part of the girl hitting the air hostess. Then the violation of the girl's fundamental human rights to the dignity of the human person by dragging her and treating her like an animal and exposing sensitive or sensual body parts of hers. These are the issues that the court and the law is going to consider. Your opinion on whether phones should be turned off or not, unfortunately, will not be important in the courtroom, and it's not important in this conversation. It's
It's
important
important in this
for
conversation because we
knowledge.
are going to change
It's,
that
it's
law.
important for knowledge, but for the decision and the judgment of the court, it's not necessary today. When the laws are repealed, that's fine. So these are some of the issues that the law is going to
Now, this is why I
consider
say it's
in making its
important today. It
decision.
is the noise we make now that will make them repeal the law.
I'm saying in the judgment or outcome of this case, it doesn't
In this
have
particular
a
case, you see,
direct, yes,
Nigerians like to
yes.
worry about yesterday. I like to worry about tomorrow.
We're talking about
That's
today.
no,
What is the
we're
outcome of
talking about
the
today,
position?
but why are
Yeah,
we talking about today? So we can have a better tomorrow.
tomorrow. I agree with you. I agree
Good.
with you. I'm just
My
stating
conversation,
this.
your conversation is a yesterday conversation, 100% conversation that needs to deal with an issue on ground. My conversation
Right.
is when are we going to start employing critical thinking and start training our air hostesses not to quote and unquote provoke? Because if this girl said her phone was on flight mode, I don't understand what the conversation is. Flight mode is as good as off.
That is
Planes, that's
it.
why they put airplane mode. They put aeroplane there. Why?
Yes. We hear you. Again, we hear you. These are the issues that are going to be discussed when we get or when the matter gets to court. What did she commit an offense? Was she assaulted? Were her human rights violated? These are the questions that the court will ask and try to make its judgment. In the interim, these conversations are good because they are raising awareness. However, while you are saying that we need to do it with a pinch of salt, while we are here saying that turning off phones or putting it on flight mode has no direct impact on the safety of the flight, it's important that we keep emphasizing that it is a law in Nigeria today. Whatever you think about it does not invalidate its position today. Until that is changed, we need to continue to speak to the fact that you don't see the need. You think that it doesn't matter, or you know that it doesn't matter, but it's still a law. Can we make sure that this awareness as well is being put out there? Thank you so
Belinda
much,
is
Daddy
very
Freeze.
right.
Thank you so much, Captain and
Obey the
gentleman
law.
who joined. Right.
If you don't want to obey it, fly first class, business class, or private jet. That way, they will not worry you with the law.
Dr. Fizz, I have something to say before you go, please.
Don't really disturb them because they always comply, you know?
Really?
Yes, they comply now. When they tell you, they talk to you nicely, please can you switch off your phone for takeoff? You're blind.
Someone said
And
give
somebody
and add
says,
pilots. We have two pilots. We have one on the phone with me and one on the live. That lady you are looking at is a very highly rated pilot because she's quiet.
somebody says, hope I'll represent the girl. I'm sorry, I'm not her legal representative, my darling. At least not at the moment. We're all just working together to push for
For
what
the
is right.
togetherness.
So exactly. So
Uh-huh.
don't be in a hurry to give me an assignment that I've
She
not
doesn't want
taken.
to tell us. Belinda doesn't want to tell us from the legal side. So we have a final gentleman with us. We're rounding in 5
Okay. So
minutes.
Daddy Freeze, bye. Bye everybody.
No, Belinda, wait now. What if he asks a legal question? No, I know more about aeroplane than law. So aeroplane, I can still choke him out and use Agidi strong head. I don't know anything about law, even though my mother is a professor of law. Brother, oh yeah,
Hi,
over
Dr.
to you.
Fizz. Thank you for bringing me up. First of all, I want to say something. The way the lady was treated was very, very rude, bad, and disrespectful. That, in a lot of ways, has undermined her dignity. Number one, turning off your phone in an aircraft is not a law. Is a suggestion. It's not a law in Nigeria and anywhere in the world. If it's a law, hold on, let me say something. If it's a law, they will mandate you to turn it before you board. Just like issuing your passport or showing your passport if you are traveling internationally, your visa is a law. A law is not subjective, it's everybody. Switching off your phone anywhere in the world, if it's a law, they will mandate you physically and ensure your phone is switched off before you board, if it is a law. Except you are telling me that Nigeria and other countries where they do not ensure your phone is switched off is a lawless place. A law is not
Hold on,
subjective. A law
brother.
is
So sorry.
compulsory.
Captain Mo is saying something. Go ahead, Captain Mo.
No, I was saying in Nigeria it's a law.
Captain Quincy,
Now it's a law in
is
Nigeria.
he a law in Nigeria?
Is a, when you say it's a law, it's enshrined and it's not like you showing your passport before you travel internationally. You
Belinda, is
cannot
it a
travel
law?
internationally with an expired passport. It's there. I know it's written, but it's a suggestion. In the
It's not a
history of
Now let me
aviation
suggestion.
tell
in
you
the
why
world,
it's a law.
hold
Because it
on,
has a
hold on.
penalty.
Let me make my point. It's
Okay.
agreeable. It's agreeable. In the history of aviation all over the world, I'm not a pilot. I've flown to so many countries in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah. Every
Not
country
even
has
one
its own
case,
regulation. It's
not
not, you
even
can't
one
use
case
everywhere in the
has
world.
been.
Every country has its own regulations.
Hold on, he's
No,
saying
That's what
something.
what
I'm saying. Every country has their regulation.
I
You cannot
understand.
say,
There's something you
you
are saying
can't say
When
every
you
it's a
say it's a
country. I don't
suggestion.
law,
want you
It's
to
not a
use
when
the
you say
law.
it's a
suggestion.
law,
A
just like
suggestion would
driving,
not a suggestion we can I cannot I can't we can't
maybe the right
it's
word
not a
is not
suggestion.
suggestion,
It's not a
but it is
suggestion. You can't come on board
recommended.
and we
Is
impose our
recommended
suggestion.
to switch off your phone or put it on air mode. Is
Okay.
advised. I'm
Sorry,
coming. Hold
sir.
on,
Let
hold
me.
on.
Okay.
Just allow me to land.
Oh, sorry.
For
Okay.
example, driving without driver's
No,
license
this
is
man,
an offense.
don't think you know what
And
is
the
a man a creator or is a lawyer.
No,
Are
he's
you
just a
saying a man a
passenger.
creator or a lawyer? What are you
no,
saying?
He's a passenger.
The person that can come and be telling us our law now.
no, I'm not trying to dispute you, Captain.
You were
Believe me,
saying
I have
something at a point. Hold on, bro. You were saying something at a point. You said in no country has any ever incident. Something you were saying along
not
those
even
lines.
one in the history of aviation I've checked.
You've checked where? Where did you check?
All over.
History of aviation.
There
What
is no
happened?
plane crash
Do
has
you have our
happened.
anchors? Do you have our
Oh,
anchors with you? Have you read it? Have you read it?
Do you have it? Can you prove
Of course I
otherwise?
do. Of
Can you
course I
prove a
do.
crash that happened because of
It's
cell
not a
phone?
suggestion. Turning off your phone is
no, no, no,
not
no.
a
What he's
suggestion.
saying is, I
No, I'm
understand
not
where he's
saying.
coming from. He's
Hold
saying
on.
that there has
See,
not been a single crash attributed
it,
to
to
phone
phone
use.
confirmed. Not even one in the entire world. They have over 100,000 flights globally, locally and international around the world every day. Approximately 100,000 flights globally. Now, switch. I fly business class. I fly first class. I fly economy. It depends on where I'm going to and what I want to fly at the moment. And most times, I have my phone switched on. I don't even put it in air mode. If it were to be mandatory, just like your passport is mandatory, they will ask to see your expiry of the passport, the validity. Believe that you're a lawyer, you know what I'm talking about. A law is not pick and
I don't
choose.
think she
It's
knows what
not
you're talking
subjective.
about.
It's not conditional.
I think she
If
knows
it's a
what you're
law,
talking about.
if it's a law, they won't even allow you to board with a phone. For example,
What are
firearm.
you saying?
Hold on. But going on the plane, even if you're a military personnel, you have to put it in the cargo compartment if you have a firearm on board. Or there are some procedures to have it on board. I know some people that fly with firearm on board. Those things
Oh
have
wow.
rules, strict rules on them. But having your cell phone on board, just
Now,
like
I
every one
understand
of
where
us
you are
does.
coming from. Now, somebody here says, must there be a crash before you know it's wrong? Brother, be using your brain and be thinking. Be using your
Okay,
brain and be thinking. I understand where he's coming from. My brother, the only part I disagree with you is that it is actually a law. And why is it a law? Is because it has a punishment.
what's the
And I think
punishment?
it's
By
two
not
years
switching
in
off your phone.
prison. I think it's 2 years in prison and a fine of 200,000. I'm not sure. Like I said, that's why I wanted
What
Belinda
it
to be
says
here.
is that if the pilot asks you to switch off and the cabin crew asks you and you refuse, that is when you've breached the law. If the captain says switch off your phone and they see you
But
making a call
legally,
and
that
they talk to
announcement
you
globally
and
to
you refuse,
everybody.
that is
Everybody
when
turn
you've
off your
offended.
phones
That
now.
is when you've committed an offense. If you are
Legally,
told,
Belinda, that
all of
announcement
us have
made,
our
can
phone
you all
on
turn
board.
off your phone now? Does it count as the pilot asking you?
You've been told
Yes,
what to do and you
you've been
refuse.
told
That is
what to do.
when you've committed an offense. But not
But that's
you
what
are
we've
going
been
on
speaking
board, you
to.
have your phone on.
That's
You
what
are
we've
going
been
on
speaking
board. We
to.
all have our phones on. Most of us don't switch off
Okay,
our phones.
sorry, sir. Let me say something. That's all we have been speaking about. The difference in what you are saying is that you think that laws must be from inception. From the moment you get to the airport, you should turn off your phone. There are times the instruction is when the plane is about to board, captain is here, please, I stand to be corrected. Just as they're about to take off, turn off your
Just
phone.
take off.
What you are doing with your phones prior does not criminalize you,
Of
does not
course,
make it. When it is time, the
absolutely.
announcement has been made formally, turn off your phones. Disobeying at this point now makes it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to now, when you are at the airport, you are using your phone. It's just like
Nobody
your
can
international
stop you.
passport. When you
Yeah.
walk into the airport immediately, until you're about to board, that's when your international passport becomes relevant. It's not
Belinda,
relevant
let
all
me
the
tell you
while. Hold
something.
on, sir.
Let me tell
It's
you
not
something. Just
relevant
one
while you are
second.
sitting
Let me
down
tell you
in the
something.
lounge.
If your cell phone poses 0.0001% risk of any flight risk, they are going to take off your phone from you. They are not even going to allow you the chance of
Sir,
having it on you.
we are
They're
not
not going to give you the chance
disputing
of having it
we are
on
not
you.
disputing that. That's
Okay?
not the
So
argument.
now,
The argument here
if it poses
is it a
1%,
law in
0.00%
Nigeria?
risk of
Daddy,
any
please,
flight
don't
risk
fall out.
whatsoever, it won't even, they won't even allow you to have it on board.
Sir, sir, let me say something, right? I hear you, and that's what Daddy Freeze has been screaming about, that it doesn't pose any risk. We are not disputing that. What we are saying is that when the laws were made, there was a reason. Those laws are still laws today. You cannot say that they are not laws. Today in Nigeria, it may not pose anything. You have experience, you have knowledge that it doesn't. It doesn't make it or invalidate the fact that it is a law. The argument today, it is a law. Under the Nigerian Civil Aviation Act, I stand to be corrected, Section 85 speaks to this, even gives the punitive measures. So we cannot sit here and say that it is not a law, when actually it has been documented, it is enshrined, people are referring to it. And the fact that it has not happened, laws are not made for what has happened. Laws are made for what has happened, what will happen, and what may happen, or what is happening and what may happen. So we know,
You see,
we
my
hear
dear
you.
brother, sorry, Belinda. You see, my dear brother,
Yes.
you will lose your case if you are arguing for what you don't need to argue. It's already a law, we
Right,
know that. Your
right.
case should be it is a senseless law, or it is a law that does not make too much sense, or it is a
Okay,
redundant law, or it is an
okay.
overstretched law.
You can
That,
say
in my
that.
humble opinion, is where you should bring that issue up. Now, let me tell you something. Both Captain Mo and Fly Girl, globally, they will tell you switch off your phone for takeoff and landing. When I'm in business class, they pass me. They don't ask me to. I don't turn on my phone. I don't put. Sometimes carry 8 phones. See, as I did like this, I go show you phone. You go tire. See, make I show you one by one as they die, they replace them. Now let me say something. Sorry, Captain Mo. Now in the Niger, we tend to overdo in Nigeria. Once you have taken off, they will still not allow you to put that phone on flight mode. Why is that? Captain Mo and Fly Girl, can we train these air hostesses and cabin crew in such a way that maybe the danger zone is take off and climb?
Landing. And why is that? No, take off and landing.
Take off
And
and
why is that?
landing. Okay, if let's even say you ensure it, at least while you climb out of the airport.
Have you asked why?
Why?
Why do they tell people to switch off their phones or put their offline mode? Because
Why?
they want them to be attentive. One of the
Very
reasons
good.
is to pay attentive to the briefing in case of any emergencies. And also, in case of to be an alert, there's been evidence that the passengers are the one who notice one or two things before the crew. You understand? Maybe there's a fire somewhere or notice something. So when you have your phone and you're playing with it, you'll be attentive. So one of the reasons is not just to switch off because of interference. Yes, it has to do with they want your attention, your full attention at that critical time. And taking off takes less than 3-4 minutes. You're airborne. Sometimes, even all the airlines, as soon as your person is on, when the internet comes on, you can use your phone. So what will it take? It takes nothing. They didn't tell you to switch off your phone throughout the duration of the flight.
Throughout the flight,
Just take off and landing.
No, local flight, they'll tell you duration of the flight, so they will stress you.
No.
No, Daddy Freeze, no.
No, Daddy
No,
Freeze,
no,
no.
no, that one's not true. Or not entirely true.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. They told the girl to take off, to turn off her phone. She didn't turn off her phone. The plane took off. It did not crash. The plane climbed, cruised, descended, approached, final approach, landed, taxied, and parked, and it did not crash. Why did they still go and harass the girl after that?
Okay, Daddy Freeze, let me ask you a question. When you are going to cross, when you are driving, and there's no car coming, and it's showing you the red sign on the traffic light, you're looking, there's no car coming, and you've passed it, and VIO or LASMA people hold you down. When you did not commit, there's no accident, there's nothing. Why are they still holding you? When you did not commit any accident. But
so the
why
air
are they
hostess
still
now is the equivalent of VIO.
No, I'm asking you a question. The same reason
No.
why you
I
will be
understand. You
held.
see, VIO is employed to arrest.
No, I'm not saying her. I already told you that her actions were
Daddy
wrong.
Freeze, none of us
There's no
were on that flight. We were not on that flight.
exactly.
Okay, all
She
right.
might
I rest my case.
for all we know, she must have even turned off her phone. For all we know, she would
Yes,
have turned off her phone.
possibly. And there's
So
just something else.
reports, there are different reports, there are different hearsays, and we can't entirely say that she did or did not turn off her
Or did
phone.
not.
I don't think that is the reason. I don't think that is the reason, because if she did not turn off her phone prior to takeoff, I am very sure that the captain would have deboarded her. If she was if she was adamant about not turning off her phone prior to takeoff, she won't be on that flight. So I'm very sure she did turn off. At one point, she turned off her phone, because if she did not, the cabin crew would have
Belinda,
reported.
Belinda, I have a question for you. You're a lawyer. The way the girl was deboarded on the plane, was it the proper way?
No.
Wrong. I already said that. I've been saying that.
What
That's why I'm
happens?
even
Yeah,
here.
I'm coming. The next question is, if someone refuses to switch off their cell phone in an aircraft, and they were deboarded in the manner this girl was, what is the effect of leaving the phone on, based on the way the cabin crew reacted on what she did?
I
Does
don't
that
understand the
devalidate their
question.
case?
No, it
No.
doesn't. It
So
doesn't.
if she refuses to turn off her phone prior to, maybe before, as she was boarded before
Mm-hmm,
takeoff, what
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
happens is, because she has once you step foot in that
In the
aircraft, and let's
plane.
say you assume that you don't want to fly again, they are going to hold
mm-hmm.
you in Tango City till that plane lands.
My question
Okay?
is, the way I believe there's supposed to be a procedure in deboarding someone in
Right.
an aircraft. You
Right.
don't just move somebody anyhow. There's a procedure.
No, absolutely.
Number one, what I know is, number one, if you want to deboard, I've been in an aircraft where someone was deboarded here. If you want to deboard someone in an aircraft, an unruly customer, a drunk customer, a customer that you know is drunk, is not supposed to be in an aircraft. He's not supposed to travel. If you want to deboard someone, a passenger, what you should do is deboard everybody first, and then the person last, or the person first, and not at the same
Okay,
time as
I think
others.
I understand where this gentleman is
So
coming from.
what I'm trying to say is this. What I'm trying to say is this. She broke the law. Let's assume that, by
Yes.
having her phone on. It's only the court that
Okay.
can prove that. However,
It's only
let's
the
assume
court
on
that
this.
can prove
Wait,
that.
sorry,
Yes.
brother.
That this
Barry
is what.
HJ1 says the guy and DF don't know what they are talking about. Now, Papa for us don't know what they talk about. Collect rapture.
A lot of people here are very, very shallow minded. So
Very,
don't worry.
very
A lot of
ignorant.
people. When you see
See,
their comments, you understand. But what I'm saying is that
here's my take.
the way
Here's
they
my take.
remove her from the
We were
plane.
not on the flight.
Do you know
And
that
Wrong.
act
the
that
saddest
act
thing that we can
can
ever
nullify what she did?
experience is that nobody that was on the flight is coming forward to tell us what happened. Nigerians
But
are
we have an idea of
cowards.
what happened. We
Hold
have an
on, we
idea of what
don't.
happened.
We don't have an idea. We are just assuming.
The assumption.
Everything is an assumption. I can tell you that that air hostess body language was off. It sounded very like, hey, I'm on camera, I'm acting for you guys. Hey, record this now. But that's my opinion. It's
Exactly.
not a fact. You understand? I feel that, and that's why I said in the video, we need to ban this airplane mode, switch off your phone, because it is causing too much problem for what is what. It is causing more problem. The enforcement of switch off your phone is causing more problem than what the phone would have done on the flight.
Okay, Daddy, please, I have a question to ask you, right?
Go ahead.
Sometime, few days ago or last week, there was another issue, and it was an issue of coming in with water. Should we ban that as well? Are we
You
going to
see, the
just keep
rules are
banning
very
everything
clear
because...
on liquids. The rules
No,
are
hold on
very
one.
clear on liquids.
Daddy, please, let me land, right?
Yes.
So there will be, the laws are there right now. If for every time somebody is triggered or does not comply, we say ban it.
Hold
If
on,
for
hold
every
on,
time.
hold on, hold on. I need to explain to you what liquids are. I can bring home 1 liter of water. Somebody can bring 3 lemons. Another person can bring aluminum foil. The third person can bring matches. And then we make a bomb on the flight.
Daddy Freeze, I hear
Do you
you.
understand? So liquids, because you don't know what's in that liquid. It might
Liquids
look like water,
now.
smell like
What
water, but it might be
Daddy
some
Freeze,
acid.
what I'm saying is that those liquids or carrying of liquids or
Yes.
whatever it is unlawful, or is it for you to carry
100%.
into the flight.
Nobody's
The
arguing it.
same way turning on your phone or leaving your phone is unlawful when the instruction has been given to turn it
Now,
off.
what I am trying to
So
explain to you, Belinda, is there is
is
a
that it is
logic
not necessary.
behind the
Yes,
water. There
there's
is
a
no
logic
logic behind
behind
the
it.
phone.
And what I'm saying to you now is that both of them are still laws in Nigeria today. And we're going to be speaking to the fact that there are still laws in Nigeria today. So we have heard that, okay, this one needs to be changed because it doesn't have any direct impact. That's fine. But as of this evening, they're both laws.
Well, nobody's
So we're
arguing
not
with you.
speaking to the,
I agree
yes,
with
we're
you
not speaking to the
100%.
logic
And
of
I
that.
advise everybody that is going on a flight to please obey the law. My
Simple.
purpose of setting up this meeting today is to explain that our enforcement of that law is exaggerated when compared to the proportion of the impact
Mm-hmm,
of disobeying the law.
mm-hmm.
Carrying a GUN on a flight. Yeah, go ahead, Captain Mo.
You're forgetting about the safety part I mentioned.
Okay.
It's not just because of it.
Can't hear.
Network. Okay. Yes.
It has to do with getting the
With
attention
paying
of everybody,
attention.
just for takeoff.
Okay.
Just for
So
takeoff.
now,
It has to do with just getting the attention of everybody, exactly takeoff and landing.
now,
So that's why we tell them
now, takeoff and landing. In most international airlines, they will advise put it on flight mode.
yes.
So if the lady, I'm just giving you a scenario. Captain Quincy, work with me. The lady walks up to her and says, turn off that phone. It's on flight mode. The lady can demand, can I see? May I see? And she shows you flight mode. I don't think it should be an issue. Even if the law says turn off the phone completely, I think there comes a point where we are reasonable. And then the lady can now say, please ensure that you watch out. Now, maybe another thing that is much better than telling people to turn off their phone like robots is telling them a quick joke on in the cabin crew can come out and say, guys, here's the reason why we tell you to switch off your phone. Because something can happen on the flight and we will need you to be attentive. That's why they switch off the lights on inside the plane. So you can see the wing, you can see the engine. If there's a fire, there's smoke, you can see it better. That's why when taking off, they switch off the lights in the cabin. Abby, Captain Quincy.
Absolutely.
So people can be more alert. So I think the emphasis should be, look, phones are distracting. They are more distracting than dangerous. And from the distraction, danger can happen. You see, in everything, I want us to be human beings. The way that girl treated that girl, the way the cabin crew treated the girl, and the way the girl treated the cabin crew does not look like it was two human beings. It looks like it was jungle fever.
Absolutely.
And what I'm aiming for is maybe if I explain to you that, look, this is why you are to turn off your phone. Maybe if you had a proper understanding of it, you will more easily comply with the rules. And if the cabin crew are more friendly to their customers,
Manner
the
of
only people
approach.
that I know that are wicked to their customers are armed robbers, because I don't know why you buy your customer. Are you not supposed to rob and come back and rob again? But then you go and rob and you buy your customers. Let's not learn customer service from armed robbers. Let's learn customer service from those who have managed the worst customers and turned them to clientele. That is my opinion. That girl right now is cooling off in police detention, might end up going to prison. Have they given her bail? Belinda has refused to share.
What's the plan? Are they working on that?
Do you understand? But Belinda, do you understand what I'm telling you? That air hostess is probably going to be, before that air hostess go fly again, she go walk. Because NBA don't put mouth, this person don't put mouth, Peter Obi don't put mouth. It's not going to be swept under the rug.
No, it's not. It's not.
So, a simple situation by two people that could have been managed better has ended one in prison and one's career in jeopardy. I bring us back to what I said from the beginning. It is important for us to interact like we're human beings.
Okay.
Sometimes we meet that passenger that is so unruly. It takes your brain to realize that this thing where they do, is it really okay? Let's imagine I have one unattentive passenger on the whole plane. Unless the passenger is pulling my hair and fighting me on, if it is just I refuse to turn on my phone, why must we create a whole episode of Netflix movie? Out of this, the airline is suffering, the passengers are suffering, the girl is in prison, the air hostess career is hanging on the line. Was it really worth it? That is the only thing I'm appealing to. I'm appealing to us as human beings to sit down and start thinking some things too. Why am I telling that it's not dangerous? So that the cabin crew that can be listening to me knows that it is wrong, knows that it's against the law, but knows that when you go and see somebody's phone, the person will fight you and the two of you will end
But
up
it
where you don't
freeze
want to
is
end
not
up.
against the law. So if any cabin crew is listening, they have instructions, they have laws that they need to abide to. And that's just the point. Because if it was not read out, if it wasn't said to her, that is a different scenario. I'm also agreeing with you on how she was treated. It was
Exactly.
very
Absolutely.
professional.
How she was
Very
treated is
unprofessional.
illegal.
And
Very
that
Her
act
rights
unprofessional.
have
alone
been trampled
can,
upon.
yes, that act alone, because they've trampled on her dignity as
I
a
mean,
Does
person.
any of
I
you
They've
speak
wouldn't
exposed
Yoruba?
herself. That thing
Does any
alone
of
has
you
sincerely.
speak
overruled
Yoruba?
everything she has done.
Quincy, do you
No,
speak
you
In
cannot say
Yoruba?
fact,
that for a fact.
I try
it's
to
very
understand a
possible.
little bit.
I can't say that for a fact, but
Bro,
it's
do you
very,
speak
very possible.
Yoruba?
Mm-mm.
Brother, do you speak Yoruba?
No.
Captain Mo, do you speak Yoruba?
No, I don't.
There's something best said in Yoruba. I'll translate it to the best of my ability. They say, Talagidi meji ba, Talagidi meji ba pade, amamba wonbe. So when two stubborn people meet, we will meet them there.
Yeah.
Because imagine going round the roundabout. The person on the left has the right of way. You are coming on the right and you refuse to give them the right of way. You are wrong. The person is right. Now, if you were not stubborn, you don't see, say, this person, they're wrong. But
Yeah.
now problem it won't cost me. You just allow him
Yeah.
to go.
Exactly.
Now, what if the person is right, enforcing his rights, and you see that, well, in all sense, he's actually right. Let me allow him to go. We no go meet them there. But when the person that is right refuses to let go of his right, and the person that is wrong refuses to accept that he's wrong, all of us will meet them there. And that's what has
Okay.
happened in this situation.
Yes. So there's this saying that we have that your rights, it's not a legal saying, it's just like a slang, that your rights to stretch your arm ends where the other person's nose begins. The air hostess was doing her job, but in the course of doing her job, she violated somebody's human rights. These are the
Absolutely.
issues. She was doing her job, trying to make sure that she complies with the instructions of the
Yes.
airline. However, in the course of doing her job, she and other security team violated the rights to the dignity of
Assaulted
the
her.
human person
That's an
of
assault.
that girl.
Yeah.
These are two wrongs. The girl, on the other hand, we saw videos that seemed like she assaulted them. Where there's
Yeah.
a wrong, there must be a remedy. For assault,
Mm-hmm.
there will be a remedy. For breach of fundamental human rights, there will be a remedy. Ubi juice will be remedium. With this, Daddy Freeze, I'll say good night.
You are not going to say
Thank you
good night
very
until I
much.
finally say good night. You are not running
Daddy
anywhere.
Freeze, good night.
So everybody, good night. Ah, Belinda, you ran away because you don't want me to tackle you further. Anyway, Quincy, Captain Quincy, forgive me. Thank you so much for your
My
time.
pleasure.
Thank you for the education that you so freely shared with people. I know it's taking you decades to get to where you are in your career and life, and you, for free of charge, came to argue with us that are novices, and you listened to us and you offered us your wisdom and you deliberated with us. I appreciate you wholeheartedly. Thank you
Thank you.
so much, and God bless
Thank
you.
you.
The reason why I
God bless
wanted to keep Belinda was I wanted to say a proper thank you to her. Belinda, God bless you. You've always been there for me anytime I need you. Your legal knowledge has been without par. You are very intelligent, very enterprising, and you are an asset to any man, and of course to me on this platform. My dear brother, thank you for being part of the audience, and thank you for offering your own
Thank you.
perspective. The great Captain Mo. Thank you so much, Captain Mo, for joining us. You were there with us throughout. You couldn't come live because of internet, but you still stayed on my phone. You're still on my phone just to make sure that we can't have an airline, aircraft, air incident and not have pilots and lawyers in the conversation. The fact that I have two great captains on this conversation makes me very proud, and I appreciate you greatly. Captain Mo, thank you. Short notice, massive wisdom. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. And everybody else who came today, John, big shout out. Simply Vic, special shout out to you. My other lawyer lady from Canada, Sarah Sani, has a PhD in law. She was also here on this live arguing her points. Thank you so much. Who am I? I'm just a sociology graduate that has a platform. How can I gather captains and lawyers and doctors and all sorts of people from all walks of life? Even though sometimes I lose my temper, don't think for any moment that I don't appreciate you all. Take care. God bless.
Thank you.
And hope to
Thank
see you
you.
soon. Final note. If they tell you to switch off your phone, switch it off. Oh. Kiri is not nice. I don't talk my road. Goodbye, everyone. Air
Bye.
hostesses, you to be gentle. Oh. Goodbye.
All right,
Captain
Daddy Freeze.
Mo, bye.